Page 58, A Pleasant Morning. It's a solo piece you can learn to play if you want. It's kind of fun. I enjoy pieces that have a lot of these runs in them. They're kind of fun to do if you can do the scales. If you can't do the scales, these runs are a pain. If you can do the C major scale, you'd probably sight read this right hand at least. However, I'm going to go through the process I used to learn a piece of music. Let's see what we end up with. I look it over, I see it's 2 pages long. I don't see any repeat signs or anything, just straight through. Clef signs are treble and bass clef to start. They could change in the middle, but I really don't care. I just want to know at the beginning, what is it? The key signature is no sharps or flats, so either C major or A minor. If I look at the last couple measures or so, I see C chords. So I figure we're in C major, so make sure you can do the scales for C major and A minor and the arpeggios, blah, blah, blah. You've heard this before, okay. And common time, or 4/4 time. Let's take it one hand at a time. I like to have a fingering that allows me to connect everything, if I can. Now, rest, you can lift up and move if you have to. But still, even then, I like to connect things if I can. Right hand, that first measure is just a C scale. Here. And then the third measure, you think it's a G scale? No, it's got an F natural. You see, you don't have to start a scale on its root. You can start and end on any note. So here it's just going from G to G. It feels the same. The physical feeling is the same as a regular C scale. You're just in a different notes. Measure 5, you get it scale going up and down. Okay, and then measure 7, mix it up a little. It's almost like a chord and they stuck in a passing note. And then thumb. And then during the rest, come down. I would prefer not to have to come down during the rest, but the way the notes are written, it's easiest just to go ahead and come down. We could come out with a different fingering that would allow me to get into this position beforehand, but sometimes the solution is worse, or the cure is worse than the disease in this case. So it's just easier going from measure 8 to 9, just come down here. But in measure 10, you're not coming up because the thumb's staying there. The hand comes up, not the thumb. And then measure 11, you come up again. Now you can move the hand up. Cross over and do it again. Okay. That's pretty much the right hand for the most part. A few chords at the end, you can get those, I hope. Left hand, let's see what we got. Well, we got the 1 chord, C chord. And second measure, we got the 5/7 chord. Wait a minute. That's a 5/7. I thought this was. Remember, the 5/7 chord is 4 notes. We need the top and bottom. That's these. I mean, either of the others. So we're doing that or that. Here, they're doing this. And then in measure 3, they take out the 7th and just the 5 chord. The 5 chord is that. The 7th is that. If I just get a 5. So I got a 5/7 to a 5. They're still primary chords. And then a 1 chord, on measure 6, thumb comes up, this 4 chord. We're not using the C. You don't have to use all the notes. And then measure 7, we got to come up here. We're up here. It's the 1 chord again, it's inverted. 5/7. And then in measure 9, this thing, what's this? Well, again, it's the 5/7 chord. We're using top and bottom in one of these. So in measure 6, we use that one, and in measure 9, we're using that one. It's the same chord. 1 chord. See, it's a 1 5/7, 1 5/7, 1, but we're changing which note in the 5/7 we're using, so it's that. And then at the end, the bottom of page 59, around measure 25, you get the scale. It feels like a C scale, so just play the white chord, and then now it starts on C. Okay, once I have an idea what the hands are doing, and the rhythms and the fingering, then I'll try putting them together. And when I first put them together, I'll probably hesitate. So I don't care, I'll deal with the hesitations later. Here it's just here. We'll play the half note, the left hand comes up. At 4, you think, what's going on measure 4? Because this is not in the chord. Well, it resolves. We have tension and resolution. You release the tension. Tension, release. Yeah, it's normal. Now, we want the eighth notes to be even eventually. So you're going to have to move the left hand around, but you got to be able to do it without messing up the eighth notes eventually. So you might do it in here, then you got to come up here, and then here, and here. But eventually we'll go back and take care of the hesitations and things. So I go through and I put the hands together, and then once I do that, then I go through it, measure or 2 at a time, whatever it takes, the hard parts. And I get rid of the hesitations, work them out. Go slow if you have to, but no hesitations. It's like starting at measure 5 here. So I want all those eighth notes to be even. No hesitations anywhere. Measure 7. No hesitations. You don't have to go that fast, of course. You take it at your speed. Whatever it takes, but no hesitations anywhere. That can take a while. It's kind of frustrating sometimes because you work so hard and spend so much time getting rid of hesitations, and then once you think you've got them, they come back. And so you just got to stop and work them out again, because the more you do it, the less they'll come back. If you don't work them out, you will always play with hesitations. You say, why am I hesitating all the time? Well, it's because you practiced it that way. Then I think about the articulation, and this is connected here. The slurs connect them. Now, a lot of these curved lines you're seeing on here are slurs. They're not phrases. So you would slur, like the first 2 measures, you attempt to put it all together. You can't really connect repeated notes very well, but you pretend you can. But when you get down to like measure 9, each one of these seems to be a separate musical thought, musical sentence. And in that case, I would separate them, like taking a breath. That's interpretation. Maybe you don't like that. Maybe you prefer them connected. Then lift up. So you take like 4 at a time as a longer sentence. That's interpretation. I think I prefer to lift up though. And then like measure, 15 here? You're connecting all these eighth notes together. These are just slurs here. It's all one connected long line. Same thing in the left hand at the bottom. Connect all those eighth notes together. They don't give you anything for the chords. You're probably going to hold them down. In theory, the quarter notes at least, you could play them staccato if you wanted to. But you have to consider the overall mood of the piece. Is it a pleasant morning when you do that? Is that a pleasant morning? No. So generally, you're probably going to play this pretty connected all the way through. So much for the articulation. And then the dynamics. And that applies to the melody. In this case, it's the right hand. Most of it. Soft. Whatever you think soft is. These chords, very soft. Just nice gentle stroke here. Stay loose. Don't come straight down. Come down at a bit of an angle here. So you're kind of stroking the keys gently. But it takes a little bit of practice because you got to get them down at the same time. Measure, 5, you're going to crescendo up. To measure 7. Don't get loud to measure 7. So you plan it out. If you don't plan it out, you'll be loud by measure 6. So I'm there already. Oh, here we are. So you plan it out. Maybe it's every 2 beats at a time. Start soft. Little loud, little loud. Now, whatever the notes are, that you plan it out. And how many notes or how many beats you take at a time depends on the music and how long your change lasts. So I'm going to recommend maybe 4/8 notes at a time, soft, a little louder, a little louder, a little louder. Now, yeah, on that one. Then I'll measure, the left hand can come up, it's got to be in the background. And then measure 9, you're soft. Measure 13, come up to moderate, sort of loud. Then measure 15, you're loud again. Now when I play, technique-wise, I use weight. So the louder it is, the more weight I'm putting into it. So, and as I'm getting lighter, the left, or softer, the less weight, the lighter I'm getting. So in measure 15, I'm heavy here. Well, this is something you practice with the scales. As you're practicing the scales and arpeggios, since you're doing it anyway, right? Practice playing them at all the dynamic levels, or most of them. Go to the extremes if you can. How soft can you play a scale? Don't use the soft pedal. Got to do it with the hands here. Very light. You have to make sure you get the keys down all the way on an acoustic piano or it won't sound all the time. I used to get in trouble for that. It's just how soft can you play a scale? And then again, how loud can you play it? Just a lot of weight. Let the wrist collapse a little bit and go slow. Boom, 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 boom. That way, when you get it in pieces, you're already accustomed to the physical feeling of doing it. So in measure 15, I'm heavy. Measure 16, I'm still heavy, but now I'm going to come down to soft, and I only have 4 beats to do it. So each beat, down to soft, there, because it only lasts 1 measure. So it's just, you adjust, and then you're back to like you were at the beginning. Now measure 25, it's the left hand that gets it. It's the 8th notes. And at the end, there's no melody here, it's everything. Yeah, whatever. So at least to me, there's no melody. Maybe some people will think, no, the melody's still there. That could be melody. If that's the case, then bring it out. If you choose not to interpret it that way, then play them the same. It's the interpretation. Now, speed, allegro moderato, they're mixing it. You know, take a splash of allegro and mix in a dash of moderato, and what is it? Well, it's the 8th notes. How fast do those need to go? On moderato, feel 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Allegro, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's in between. Come down. 2, 3, 4. Somewhere in there, it's got to be accurate. These runs, these 8th notes, all need to be even. But if you'll do the accents and collapse your wrist on the scales and arpeggios like I tell you to in the videos, you'll find that when you play it in the pieces, you'll do similarly. Because when I'm playing this, I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm thinking that. That helps to keep it smooth and clean and even. If I just go, it's a mess. So think of it rhythmically as you're doing this, and if you have to, when practicing it, put in accents. Put in the accents to help you feel this bum, 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 bum. Of course, you don't do that when you're performing it. This is just getting it ready. You really ought to do this in both hands. Could you do that in both hands? You get the idea. I'm letting the left hand just follow the right, and I'm reading the music with the right hand, but it gives both hands a chance to practice these runs. You don't have to go that fast. So that's basically the speed I think it should go. Everybody be a little different. It's not a set speed. It's whatever. Please don't copy me. You get into it and feel it. You don't have to take it that speed. Feel these crescendos and decrescendos as you go on it. Let's play this together very slowly. Check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do louds and softs, just notes and rhythms. I'll give us 4 counts. 1 and 2 and ready and go and. 2, 3, rest. 2, 3, rest. 2, 3, 4.